So I know I normally don't film the drawing part for you guys, but this one was pretty simple since I decided just to draw right on my linen panel. If you guys are curious about how you can transfer a drawing, what I normally do from paper, check down below for links because I've got a video all about how I make these drawing board or painting boards, I should say. This is actually oil primed Belgian linen affixed to wood, although you can use canvas. So I have a video showing you how to make these amazing painting surfaces as well as how to transfer a drawing if you don't feel like drawing it directly on the surface yourself. Now, bear with me, guys. This has sort of a bad glare, but it gets fixed in less than a minute. But yeah, right at the very top of this hand, it's got this beautiful, extremely bright moment where the sun is coming in and just making it glow. So I am using almost a white yellow right there in that spot. It was really a fun experiment because normally, of course, you want the light sort of to the side or behind what you're doing, or I should say behind you, shining on the object. But this time I wanted the sun to be coming directly behind and through it. So this actually wound up being a really fun experiment in ultra, ultra, ultra high contrast, and also in finding a lot of depth of color and things like that within the dark values, because I feel like a lot of times dark values can be made to look a little bit flat. I know often many painters will leave dark values quite flat and only focus on the highlights, but when so much of your figure is in ultra deep lights, I don't know, I had a really good time picking out that there really was a lot of color, a lot of movement, a lot of motion. I used oranges, reds, blues, all that within the low lights of these colors. I'm sure you also noticed that this is a super warm, reddish orange drawing surface, way more intensely colored than what I usually start my paintings on. And there's two reasons for this, really. I mean, one, I went a little excited with the burnt sienna, but the other, I mean, I really was trying to make this a quite warm surface. I knew that I wanted the hand to be a very warm tone. I'm using a lot of orange and deep red and that kind of thing in the highlighted areas, actually in the low light areas too as well, obviously, but both, especially even rimming some of the light to dark transitional areas. But the reason why is because I know that in my mind's eye this is going to be a very heavily green, dark brown, and intensely like natural colored background, because I'm going to have ferns and all kinds of real plant life in here, as well as obviously the background that I am painting in right here in front of you. And so I wanted to make sure that to balance that my hand was going to be very warm, because it's one of those things that the complementary colors, the duality, the green will bring out the red will also bring out the green. It's this beautiful way that colors work and play with the eyes. So definitely do not forget about your colors and how they interact, your background, foreground, atmosphere colors, because I will be having some of the leaves overlapping, of course. And here and there I am using greens in the shadows. I'll be mixing it in with blues and things like that, because you always want to have at least some sort of similar color in the background as in the foreground. Even if it's very, very minute and not super obvious, your mind's eye, your viewer's third eye will know it. Our brains compute a lot more than we realize, and our brains really like complementary colors. So the more that you can intensify complementary colors, viewers are naturally going to be drawn to your piece. Now, of course, realizing that this is an unusual and dramatic lighting situation for a normal painted subject, but nonetheless, I will say it again and again, contrast is your friend. You want very high light moments and very low light moments to be right next to each other as often as reasonably possible. Don't overdo it. You don't want to make your painting look like it's the Sutro Instagram filter and everything is black or white practically, or ultra red, ultra green. But I'm telling you, even if it's small points, it doesn't have to be large swaths of the canvas, but as long as there are some points that are very dark and some points that are very light on there, it's just a great way to catch your eye. And what the best way you can do to make sure that you have this going on is look at your painting or look at your past works and kind of blur your eyes a little bit, fuzz them out a little bit, see what stands out when they're out of focus. Maybe you wear glasses and you can take off your glasses and take a look at your piece and see what really pops out. There should be, you know, depending on the work, there's not really a specific rule of thumb, but there should be some sort of place or places that really pop or stand out, some place that you want the viewer's eye to look. Remember that you are in control. This is your work of art, your painting. So you get to decide what you think is exciting and where you want the viewer's eye to go. So use contrast, high contrast, especially moments where they can be right next to each other. Use those to your advantage. That will really draw your attention, draw your viewer's attention exactly where you want it, and make things exciting, because our eyes were naturally drawn to things that are high contrasted. I don't know what that means. I'm sure it's some sort of survival thing, whatever. I know that whenever I see something moving in the corner of my eye, you know, I look really closely. Obviously, paintings don't move, but I think that they kind of give the same thing. When there's a moment of intensity, our eye goes to it, because that is just the way we are built as humans. So give your fellow humans some exciting points of interest. Make sure that you're not just using those midtones throughout all of your works. And trust me, you can use dark colors and light colors that you're still using the midtones of them. So just because you're using, let's say, a dark blue, you know, like a deep cobalt blue, as well as some really light, you know, cerulean or something like that, those are still mid-tones. You still need to make, you know, that dark blue darker, make it, you know, like more of like a navy, or throw in some Payne's gray or something where you've got some sort of shadow or whatever it is. You know, realize that just because something is darker or lighter does not necessarily mean that it's higher contrasted or actually different toned. And in this bird's humble opinion, there really is so much to explore within each little area on each little subject. I mean, this is just a shadow on the back of the hand, and I am getting so much rich variety in here. I'm loving it. So as part of my artist residency in Florida with the Highlands Art League, I would participate in a weekly open studio session with a number of the members of the Art League. It was really fun. So you'll see that this second half of the painting is done in dramatically different lighting because I am in a very different place. It was so fun though. I honestly really love sharing creative space like this. Well, different lighting, yes, but also I made the bottom half of the green background a different color green, so it kind of plays with the camera a little bit. It makes it look like the whole thing is way off. So sorry for that, guys, but I just went ahead and knocked it all in. The weird thing is that I pretty much always do my found object, aerosol, stencil, secret sauce, Caleigh bird formula backgrounds before I do my oil painting, but this was actually the very first painting I was able to start making once I got back on the mainland from Hawaii. So I had obviously not been able to bring spray paint with me, nor would I have wanted to pay to ship something as silly as that. So I sold all my spray paint before I left, and this was right when I finally got my oil paints shipped back over, because they had to be literally brought over on a ship, because I guess they're not safe to fly or whatnot. But yeah, so I had just gotten back and I did not have my spray paint, collection built up yet in order to make the background. But like I have said in other videos, do not ever, ever, ever let your materials stand in the way of your dreams and inspiration. I talked about this on my video about finding beauty anywhere. I'll link that down below because it is very important, because part of me was like, oh, you should wait, just work on something else, da 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 da. You need to get your collection back up again before you can make a good background. And I told myself, no, what I need to do is work on something that I can work with and within my limitations, and I can get to that later, because I am not going to let my materials limit my creativity. Thank you very much. Just a little patience and a mighty fine taping job, and all went even better than I could have hoped. Yay! Alright, and now we get up close and personal with the crazy object making those amazing shadow shapes. This is a beautiful bird of paradise flower. I was actually taking a walk. Actually, this is the second painting I've done with a giant tropical flower that I found while taking a walk close to my house, and seeing someone had trimmed the bushes in their yard and literally found it as yard debris, and was like, oh my gosh, this thing is way too beautiful just to let go unappreciated or painted or whatever. Actually, my painting Shapeshifter, which I'll link down below, the painting to that, was the same thing. I found this gorgeous flower just in a refuse pile, right on top where everybody had trimmed their yard, yard debris, and couldn't help myself. So anyways, this was a really fun painting. It was definitely spur of the moment. I just loved the way it was casting shadows as I was walking along, and thought, well, that would be a fun painting. So I get back and literally just hold it up and take a few shots right outside the back of my studio down in Florida. I should say my temporary studio down in Highlands County in Florida. If you would like to know how exactly I painted this, including all of the detailed paint mixes, the colors, exactly the brushes that I use, my brush strokes, all of the super ultra detail, I have recently signed on to Skillshare, and this is going to be one of my first videos uploaded. So check that out if you are a member. Go ahead and pop over there, check it out. You'll get all the details. If not, I know that they constantly offer a month or 2 months for free to check it out, so I highly recommend. I'm hoping that I will get a coupon code soon to share with you folks, but check down below and please tell me what you think about my video. I'm really excited to get on there for some of the more in-depth lessons that are kind of too long or whatever for honestly, don't you just love these super sumptuous golden, bright, orangey red loveliness going on? You just don't see such vivid colors in nature that often. I love when I can paint something like this that's super bright and luscious, and I'm literally not exaggerating whatsoever. If anything, I have a hard time even matching how almost inexplicably light and bright this plant is. The words don't even come to me. It's like it glows from within. I'm just in awe every time I see these. All right, woohoo! Everything turned out crystal clear. I am so happy and relieved. I can't tell you, no matter how many times I do resin pours, and I'm counting every layer, no matter how many times, I still get nervous that things are not going to turn out. It is nerve-wracking, you guys, but I'm super thrilled with how Orange Daggers has popped off. Hope you guys loved it too. Please hit that subscribe button because I can't wait to have you back for my next painting.